Hi guys, Ali Duzette here, and today I have something really interesting to talk about with this upcoming eclipse that's taking place on April 8th. And I'm in my kitchen today. Last time my cow head came on the screen, it got a lot of attention. So I'll just talk about it really quick. That's my cow head. Where is it? In the screen. There it is. It was a family tradition for all the time that I was growing up. My parents had a cow head in their kitchen, and every night my dad would pick us up under our armpits and have us kiss the cow. And so lately, me and my siblings were all starting to fight over who was going to inherit the cow head. And so I decided to hop on Etsy and I just ordered each of us a cow head. They're all vintage from like the 1950s or something. I don't even know where my parents got it, but now I and all my other brothers and sisters have our very own cow head. That was Christmas, and I love it. It's adorable. And let's get talking about this upcoming eclipse on April 8th, because there is one really interesting aspect of it that really caught my eye the other day. I've been, looking at a lot of aspects of this, and I want to talk about all of them, but we're going to do it a little bit at a time as we go. Today, what I really wanted to talk about was this, which is called a yod. Okay, can you see this green line and this green line? These two green lines are called inconjuncts. They are 150 degrees apart. So remember that interpreting the stars all comes back to math and angles and geometry. We're talking about the geometry of outer space. Pretty cool. Okay, this is when you have a triangle like this, it is called a yod, or the finger of God. Okay, and normally you would see a blue line right here, but I have turned it off for, I don't know, but I turned it off by accident. But this triangle right here is really important. When a yod is in a chart, it indicates a divine mission, and most charts don't have them. If you have a yod, it's kind of like a medium big deal in your natal chart. And I would say this is a medium big deal to a big deal in this chart for the eclipse. So when you are looking at a yod, the three parts of the yod are going to tell you that there is going to be some real struggle with those three things that you're dealing with. So what are we dealing with here? We are dealing with the ascendant plus the part of fortune, which is a really interesting thing. The part of fortune, this X marks the spot here, deals with our treasure. What is our treasure as a nation? And I think, that can be a little bit up for debate. But we have this X marks the spot here. And then the ascendant is the face that we're putting out towards the world. What is the world seeing of us? What do they think about us? Then, so that there's going to be conflict between this and Mars over here in Pisces, which is, Mars is the sign of war and conflict, and jumping in before we think about it, leaping before we look, the hot-headed Mars in dreamy, ethereal Pisces. So that is pretty interesting. So we're going to see some like inconjunctness. They're not quite on the same page of the face that we're putting out towards the world. And this is in Leo, it's going to want to shine. We want to shine. We want to look like we're so lucky. And then there's going to be this inconjunct with the part of us that wants to fight, but might be delusional about it, because Pisces deals with the subconscious mind. It deals with things that aren't seen. And then down here, we have the South Node in Libra. Libra deals with alliances, and it deals with peace, and it deals with fairness and justice. So what are we looking at with this triangle here? We're looking at a divine calling for the nation to face issues of unfairness, to face generational issues of what has not been fair. We're going to have to reconcile that with the face that we put towards the world, which we want to look really lucky. We want it to look shiny and bright and fabulous. Like Leo is a feather boa energy, okay? we want to wear the feather boa, but we're going to be dealing with, a lot of things are happening that are just not right. It's just not just in the sense of like justice. And then up here, we might feel like we're wanting to like kind of fight about it a little bit. And so this, and right here, it is right next to Saturn. And Saturn deals with what I would call karma, or like the law of the harvest, the law of justice, that what you put out into the world is what you're going to get back. So we are being called to enter a period where we're going to have to take a real hard look at what has been fair and what has not been fair, and how we have been actually living our lives, and how the government has been functioning, how that has or has not aligned with the face that we've been putting out towards the world. And we may feel a little bit of conflict about it, a little bit of it's time for what's the phrase? Calling the crows home to roost. Is that a phrase where you're like, it's time to pay the piper, okay? To use a different phrase entirely, but we're going to have to see how we're going to harvest the results of what has or has not been fair, and how we have been presenting ourselves to the world in whatever way that has meant. I feel like I don't know. I want to be, these things can go either way. Everything in a star chart can be interpreted in either way. So as an example, I was just thinking about how Aquarius energy, people with an Aquarius moon were the actual most likely to get the COVID intervention in 2021 when it came out. But they're also very likely to be very against that intervention. And it's because Aquarius is so socially minded, and it wants to do the right thing for the whole world. So you get people that say, I want to do the right thing for the whole world, so I'm going to get it. And other people that say, I don't want to do the right thing for the whole world, so I'm not going to get it. I'm going to warn my friends about it. And it's two sides of the same coin. And so that's why I have to kind of couch things in a certain way, because we can sense the themes of this yod, but we don't know exactly how it's going to play out. Now, whenever you have this yod, it's going to feel like you can just never get a handle on all of it at the same time. Okay. And that in conjunction means that there's no easy flow, and there's not even a tight conflict. It's like a tight, not quite flow and not quite conflict, where the themes are constantly coming up, and you kind of feel like you're ping-ponging between them in this triangle. But there is a way out of the yod. Whenever there is a yod, this finger of God in the chart, the place that you're going to look is the bisection of the yod, which is going to be directly across from the top of the triangle, which for us is going to be Mars and, come on, my brain, Saturn right here. So we're going to be looking down here at about 13 to 14 degrees of Virgo. Okay, that is the key part of the chart for us as we, as individual human beings, step into this next era, as this eclipse starts a new year, right? It's happening on Nisan 1, the biblical new year. We're starting a new phase of something, a new era with this new eclipse. We're all involved in this prophecy of the finger of God, dealing with making things right, dealing with some conflict, dealing with the law of the harvest, dealing with how the rest of the world is perceiving our treasure, be that literal and economic, or more figurative and like emotional, spiritual. The answer is going to be for us to kind of lean in to that 13, 14 degrees of Virgo area. What the heck does that mean? What am I even talking about? Okay. In a chart, every single degree has different importance and like different meanings and messages associated with it. And so as I was looking at this, what is the importance of 13 degrees of Virgo? And a lot of really interesting stuff came up. Now, the first thing to know is that in a star chart, you have the 12 signs, right? We've got Aries, we've got Taurus, we've got Pisces, we've got Aquarius, but each of those is made up of 30 degrees. And inside of the 30 degrees, each set of 10 degrees is called a decan. And like 10, right? Like DECA means 10. Okay. So the first thing to note is that the things in a central decan, we're dealing with the central decan of Virgo, and that is ruled by Saturn. So as we enter this interesting era, we are going to want to focus our energies on Virgo energies, which are going to deal, well, I'll come back to that, and then specifically second decan Virgo energies. So let's talk about this. Virgo is the nurse of the zodiac. Virgo is very detail oriented, very analytic. It can be a little judgy because Virgo finds it very important to be very logical and to think through things and to say, you know what, that does not make logical sense. I'm not going to do that. That is really the essence of Virgo. Virgo is very service oriented. It wants to take care of other people, but it's going to be very logical, very strategic in how it thinks. It wants things to be efficient. It wants things to be right. It wants things to be emotionally right and actually right. And one thing with Virgo is that it can often believe that it is doing what is right. The Virgo mind just has to be right, okay? It just really wants to be right. And sometimes it can do little backbends to make itself think that it's right. I hope that makes sense. But with this Saturnine decan of Virgo, as we enter into this new phase, our job is to get into this Virgo space of being logic oriented, of being service oriented, going out of our way to notice what's going wrong in the lives of people around us and in our own lives, and then making a strategic, logical plan that is step by step to fix it, and then actually doing that plan. Okay, so on a personal level, when we start getting stressed about any conflicts that are showing up in the next, year, 2 years, we have this divine message: go within, get logical, get strategic, get rational, get practical. Okay, get service oriented, go help somebody. Okay, that's very Virgo. Go use your brain and make an intelligent choice on how you're going to serve another person. Saturn is the guy in charge of this exact little slice of the pie of Virgo. And this energy is very strongly organized. It's very sympathetic. It is practical and very disciplined. Okay, this is going to, if we choose to harness this energy, it's going to give us an extra little oomph in the direction of having the discipline that we need to do the things that we know that we should do, but maybe haven't been able to make ourselves do in the past. So this is very positive to me that as we go into a space where maybe there is more conflict, we can choose to sink into that logical, rational, practical side, and also trust that organization, that discipline, that assertiveness, these energies are going to be there waiting for us. As we step into that, we are going to harness that, and it will be a real blessing in our lives. Okay, I hope this is making any sense. I feel like I know that this kind of stuff is all like complicated, but you're doing amazing. Hang in there. Okay, one other thing that I have to say that I found that I thought was so crazy. I'm just going to show it to you. This is from Sabian Symbologist, who I have never heard of before, but I Googled it up. Oh, hello, my family is coming home from the grocery store. Okay, this is what I wanted to share with you really fast. He goes degree by degree and talks about the message of each degree in the chart. And so the message of 13 degrees of Virgo is keeping it all together. And this blew my mind when I saw this, okay? The meaning of Virgo at 13 degrees is a strong hand supplanting political hysteria. Are you kidding me? This is the apex. This is the way to disarm this yod, okay? In this chart. the way to do it is to be the strong hand supplanting political hysteria. Can you believe this? I was just like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, how exactly perfect? How exactly perfect? It says, um, when in crisis mode, the answer is when you're feeling like it's so much confusion, so little time, you've got to find your center where everything you've got is everything that you need. Yes, that is the message of this yod for us. We've got to find our center where everything you've got is everything you need. You cannot freak out about it when it looks like you've experienced a sudden change of fortune. We cannot lose our mind. Okay, we cannot get hysterical. The job is to be a strong hand that turns away the political hysteria. Okay, and how interesting that political term, and we're dealing with like the mundane astrology, meaning like mundo, like the world. We're dealing with the world. Um, wow. Um, I loved this as well. This is a symbol of the real weight of human personality, as emphasized here by the direct intervention of outstanding individuals in the affairs of their fellows. Okay, this is a call to become that person who is going to stand out from all the other people that are scared. And we have this call because we know about it. When things start getting crazy, it's you, it's me, it's the two of us being called to be the strong hand that says, no, I have everything that I need, and I can make a direct intervention in the affairs of my fellows for goodness. I can be a leader. I am calm, and so I can lead other people in that direction no matter what else is going on. Okay, I love this. Go there, go. Now put your whole self into it. Yes. Okay, I love it. So this is Sabian symbologist. Uh, there you have it. I don't know. I was just like so amazed. So anyways, as we head into this season, remember, everything that you have is everything that you need. And we can do this. We've got it. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.